The settlement of Cross 9 burned beneath a sky choked with ash and smoke. Ardenvale staggered through the ruins, his combat armor cracked and bleeding hydraulic fluid like open wounds. Behind him, the screams had stopped. That was worse than the screaming itself. He'd held the line for 6 hours. 6 hours against the Vrac swarm while the colonists evacuated. The insectoid aliens had come in waves hundreds, then thousands, their chittering filling the air like a mechanical prayer. Arden had stood at the narrow canyon pass, the only route to the evacuation ships, and he had made the Vracs pay for every meter in their own violet blood. But even human stubbornness had limits. His rifle clicked empty for the third time. He'd run out of spare energy cells an hour ago. The plasma burns across his chest plate were no longer just cosmetic damage. He could feel the heat seeping through, cooking his ribs. Each breath tasted like copper and ash. Arden stumbled, fell to one knee. The ground beneath him was still warm from orbital bombardment. The Vracs had glassed half the planet before landing their ground forces. Scorched earth tactics, they didn't want the colony. They just wanted humanity gone? Command, this is Vale ... he coughed, tasting blood. Colony ships away, package delivered. I'm done here, Static answered. The relay towers were gone, melted slag somewhere in the ruins behind him. He tried to stand, failed. His legs weren't responding properly anymore. Through the smoke he could see shapes moving, more Vracs. Always more Vracs. They'd learned to respect his firing lanes, learned that approaching the human cost lives. Now they were taking their time, circling like carrion birds. Arden laughed, the sound wet and bitter. Come on then, he whispered. Let's finish this. That's when he heard it. A sound that didn't belong on this burning world. A howl, not human. Not Vracs, something else entirely high and defiant and achingly young. Through his cracked helmet display, Arden saw them, cubs, 3 Lycar cubs. Their fur matted with ash, their 2 large ears pinned back in terror and rage. The Lycar were supposed to be extinct. The Vracs had hit their homeworld 2 years ago. These must have been refugees on Cross 9. The largest cub, barely waist-high, planted itself between Arden and the approaching Vracs. Its teeth were bared in a snarl that would have been adorable if not for the absolute fury radiating from its small frame. The other 2 flanked it, trembling but resolute. No ... Arden tried to wave them away. Run. Get out ... The cub glanced back at him. Its eyes were golden, far too intelligent for something that looked like a Volf pup stood on hind legs. It made a decision in that moment. Arden could see it happen, see the shift from fear to determination. The cub threw back its head and howled. The sound was impossibly loud, impossibly clear. It cut through the smoke and ash like a blade through silk. The other 2 joined in, their voices intertwining in a harmony that spoke of loss and defiance and unshakable loyalty. And the skies answered. The first ship broke atmosphere with a sonic boom that shattered what was left of the settlement's windows. Then another, then a dozen more. Lycar warships, their hulls painted with the traditional pack markings that everyone thought had died with their homeworld. The Vracs hesitated. In that hesitation they died. Orbital strikes lit the landscape like a second sun. The Lycar ships didn't bother with precision. They simply erased everything that wasn't in the immediate vicinity of Arden's position. The Vrac swarm evaporated in waves of superheated plasma. A transport ship settled beside Arden with a blast of retro thrusters. The ramp dropped and down it came Rorik, a full-grown Lycar warrior, his gray fur marked with battle scars, his armor bearing the insignia of a pack leader. He moved with the dangerous grace of a predator, but his eyes were gentle when he knelt beside Arden. The human falls, the cubs call, Rorik said, his voice a deep rumble. An old saying among my people. We thought we would never hear it again. Thought you were ... Arden coughed. ... Extinct. Not extinct. Hiding, regrouping, Rorik carefully lifted Arden, cradling him with surprising gentleness. We scattered when our world burned. We thought we were the last. Then we heard them, he gestured to the cubs, who were being shepherded onto the transport by other Lycar soldiers, howling across the void. Howling for you. I don't understand. 3 years ago, a human medical ship found a Lycar escape pod. Inside were cubs, these cubs orphaned, starving. The humans took them in, fed them, raised them. Asked for nothing. Rorik's eyes gleamed with something that might have been tears. We monitor all like our distress calls, even now? When these cubs howled, when they howled for a human who stood to die, protecting them, every pack heard. Every pack answered. The transport lifted off, and through the viewport, Arden could see more ships arriving. Not just like our other species, dozens of them, all responding to the call. You stood alone against an army, Rorik continued, securing Arden into a medical bay. For cubs that weren't your species. For colonists you'd never met. This is what humans do, yes? Stand when others would run? Arden tried to laugh, winced. Stupid, mostly. No, Rorik's voice was firm. Honorable, brave. The galaxy thought humanity was young, foolish, soft, but we see the truth. Humans don't abandon the pack. Any pack, even when they should. The medical systems hummed to life, and Arden felt the blissful numbness of emergency drugs spreading through his system. Through the viewport, he watched the Vrax positions being systematically destroyed. The response fleet had grown hundreds of ships now, all answering the howl of 3 small cubs. Sleep, Arden Vale, Rorik said softly. You have earned it. The cubs are safe. The pack has you now. As consciousness faded, Arden heard it again, that howl multiplied by thousands of throats. Not just Lycar this time, but the war cries of a dozen species, all united by a simple truth. When a human falls protecting the innocent, the galaxy answers. And the skies echo with battle.